Okay, so this morning I made a video about my debad preacher from the cookery house and their little biltong 5-inch little cookery. Now, I lost heaps of that footage from slow motion. I don't know what happens. I think my iPad gets backed up with memory or whatever and it just goes to slow motion. So anyway, I deleted a couple of things and we'll see if that works. This is unscripted, so it's just off the top of my head. I forget some of my points. I'll just try and get back to what I was getting at. So, the little biltong. Nobody touched this, although I seen wood chips. I see damage to this wood here. Someone's been chopping into it, and I found a damaged knife. Again, nobody done anything, nobody knew anything about it, but obviously knives don't get themselves out of a sheath, chop into stuff, damage themselves and get put back into a sheath. So I have my investigative skills have a conclusion of who and how that may have come about, but I'm not going to be framing anybody. Now that amount of chopping there, I believe, is what's put that really heavy roll. Like that's a massively heavy roll. That is that deep that you can catch your fingers on both sides of that blade. So to me, yes, this is excessively hard wood, but there's no way it's got a Brunel hardness of over 50. So, and that's not a razor sharp knife. That was never a razor sharp knife. I just left the blade as it was. I've only ever done love kookaburras. So I've only ever done one video, one cutting session with this, and that was against some plastic bottles, and this didn't cut them. Okay, so I'm not whinging or complaining or anything, and I'm not trying to bag out Cookery House or anything like that. And I know, and initially I didn't say anything because I know debad is getting his designs made by him, Shredder Family, and other people. Scab and Cowboy Seabot, you know, probably everybody. I know Chucking Steels, he's had some knives made by them. I've got 4 of their knives. I don't want to rubbish them, but hey, if some of us have got some issues with them, let's get them addressed. Let's have a little chat. Let's all contact them and see if they can lift their game. Now, I knew when I was buying their videos, I researched the hell out of them, and I seen that they're making them pretty traditional methods, and they were using that kettle with hot water, and they do the taper hardening from tipping the heated water over the edge to harden the edge, and then they slowly walk it up the spine, keep the spine soft, and that takes the vibration and stuff out of the or takes the shock out of the blade when you're chopping into things, because these are choppers. So yes, and I also think that if kept within reason, you're probably not going to have an issue. We have issues when we hit this stuff, and it's probably not considered normal stuff for a little knife like this, or any knife really for that matter. That's what axes and tomahawks and chainsaws and saws are for. But at the same time, we want our knives to be indestructible. I wanted my preachers to be indestructible. That's what I thought, that I could walk into the apocalypse and destroy dinosaurs with. And obviously sort of I thought, okay, maybe this was just a one-off, but then when I seen the damage to the biltong, I thought, no, okay, it wasn't a one-off. There's something to it. and maybe their method of hardening, maybe that's all it's doing, is just hardening the blade a little bit. There's no I don't believe that there's any tempering that goes into this, so they're not heating it up, cooling it down, etc., etc., after the first initial heat treatment. So maybe, you know, ideally, maybe they can just make their tourist sort of traditional ones their traditional style. But guys, if you're going to make proper, if you want to step into the real world of the knife world and keeping everybody happy, and bringing Donnie's knives into like absolute apocalypse-ness, they have to be sort of done right, you know. It's good steel. If it's a genuine 5160 spring steel, if it's genuinely tempered and hardened properly, it's unbelievable. It shouldn't stay bent. That's what my thoughts are. I'm not a metallurgist or whatever you call that, but you know, when that tip broke, that was on a extremely rusted out, thinned right out. That was the oil drum that mind you, I hit it spine first with the back of the tip, and I was watching videos and reading about the design of and how the Bowie knife is made to be used, and someone done some mathematical equations and showed the force when you use a tip strike from the back of a Bowie or a clip, and how that will penetrate just about anything. So when I seen this drum that's 3/4 rusted away and you could see like holes through it, I walked up and did like a boom, expecting this to just go straight through it. You know, maybe if you wanted to rescue somebody from a car and this is what you had sitting in your car, I would like the idea of this being able to just punch into a car and then using this as a tin opener to get somebody out of a burning car, or something like that, or a child out of a locked car. Obviously you can't. So let's hopefully that you know, I'd like, you know, hopefully Donnie sort of does see this. Someone sort of tips him off and he comes and has a look, and get him involved in the conversation, get everybody involved in the conversation. I will email these guys, and I don't want to bag them. I've bought my knives and I was happy to buy more knives from them because I wanted to give a little country like Nepal that doesn't have a lot going for it, I wanted them to give them some money. So at the same time though, I want a quality knife, you know. So the air freight or the freight alone, yeah, you know, now that I know what I'm looking for, all I see now when I pick up this knife is the bend and the twist. So it bends to the right and it twists like this. So yep, it would still work as a knife on normal everyday tasks, but it's not you can't put your heart and soul into believing this is going to get you through the other side. So hopefully we can get you know, encourage the standards to pick up a bit, you know. Other than that, you know, look wise, finish wise, I like the rough sort of finish. I love knowing that, you know, that's why I got my name and area code put in my first 4 of their knives, because I really love the fact that it was being handmade, and you get the little pamphlets of the people who made them and things like that. And awesome, I'm all for that, and I'm all for supporting small countries, small businesses, and helping putting food on people's tables, supporting their families and that. But if I have to jump into a scary situation, and this is what I've got on me, or what any of my knives for that matter, and I put myself between danger and my family, I want to know that this has got my back, you know. So that's all these videos are for. It's not about trying to rubbish anybody or anything. I love Donnie B. You know, ultra respect to him. You know, I've been watching his videos for probably 3 or more years now, and he's quality. I love him. So these can't just ride off Donnie's back. He can't do all the heavy lifting. These have got to perform as well, you know. So by the sounds of it, somebody had to say it, and I want this to be a conversation where people don't have to be angry at each other and things like that. Let's work together. Let's work with KHHI, and let's get their, hopefully get their steel up to scratch, you know, because that's the only thing letting it down. Otherwise, you know, otherwise I wouldn't be making this video. Anyway, love you guys. See you soon, and I'm gonna fire this thing up shortly and go to the shops and buy some meat to eat. Okay guys, see ya.